other big challenge facing the UK IR community is whether or not to pull back on quarterly reporting. Since the rule changed last November, we've seen some big names, National Grid, Diageo, and companies, now institutional investors like Aviva, like Schroders, we heard from this morning, are writing to companies and saying, we support the move away from interim statements. What are you going to do about it? What's your view?
I think what I like about this is it can be horses for courses. This can be an approach that can be tailored to the specific needs of the business. You can see a company like National Grid, while it would make perfect sense for them not to be doing quarterly reporting. In our case, it's a bit of a balance because actually there's a certain degree of volatility in our revenue stream because it's driven by sporting results to some degree. So there is value to be had in being out and talking to the market on a regular basis just to keep them up to speed with what's happening through the course of the year. I think where the challenge becomes quite interesting is there is almost too much focus on those quarterly numbers. And I think it would be good to get greater balance back on the strategic dimension. So one of the things for IR, certainly within William Hill at the moment, is to think about how can we use set pieces outside of those financial reporting periods to be able to expose the business more regularly. The problem is in some ways we try to convey the strategy through the financial reporting calendar, and actually we need to be taking a step back and saying, let's find other ways to give the city access to the right people to be able to understand the strategy and put more weight on that longer term perspective.
Okay, now this is happening against the backdrop of a lot of talk about short-termism and long-termism. Some very big institutions talking about the need for companies to focus more on the long term, and also for investors, and also for the sell side. While still maintaining the quarter-to-quarter reporting cycle, can you still get investors to focus more on the longer term? Do you have any ways of developing? Is it developing the message? Is it developing the way you communicate?
I think the message is very important, and right the way through the quarterly reporting announcements, what we try to do is flow the thread of the strategic pillars on a regular basis. So in effect, we are updating not just on a set of numbers, but numbers within the context of the strategy. I think the piece for us is then to make sure once, twice a year, we're properly in front of the investors to say, actually, this is one of the strategic pieces you need to be paying attention to at this moment, and allow us to showcase to them the capability within the business of why we're delivering against that particular strategy.